pray for the need to address caste-based atrocities, to have a egalitarian civilized society in India. This article comes in 14th October 2025 Hindu English daily newspaper, written by Harish S. Wankhede, professor. I thanks both of them. Despite constitutional promises of equality, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and other backward classes face persistent caste-based violence and exclusions. From assaults in rural areas for defying caste norms to urban discrimination in housing and employment, caste continues to deny citizens dignity and opportunity. Social reformers such as Mahatma Phule, B.R. Ambedkar, Periyar and Mahatma Gandhi, who challenged the Brahminical caste order, remain a beacon of hope. Their movements, coupled with constitutional safeguards such as the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocity Act 1989, aimed to dismantle caste hierarchies. Despite these efforts, progress has been uneven. The belief in caste-based superiority persists, enabling social elite to perpetrate acts of violence ranging from forcing Dalits to drink urine to ostracizing Adivasis for asserting land rights with alarming impunity. Such acts reflect not only individual prejudice but a societal failure to internalize humanitarian values. This raises question about India's claim of being a civilized society. The current political dispensation led by the Bharatiya Janata Party has fallen short in addressing this crisis. The government occasionally promotes symbolic gesture by including Dalit and Adivasis in religious ritual, for instance, but these efforts lack substance. Hindutva narratives often frame resistance from marginalized communities as threat to cultural unity. They often label activists as Hindu-phobic. This rhetoric stifles legitimate demands for justice. This was seen, for instance, in the vilification of those protesting an order of the Supreme Court that diluted provision of the Atrocities Act, restriction on Dalit Bahujan cultural expression as seen during the release of the Hindi film Phule, further alienate these communities from becoming part of the mainstream discourse. Moreover, policies promoting social justice such as reservation in education and employment are inconsistently implemented. As a result, social elites continue to control and dominate institutions. The absence of a robust policy framework to bridge the gap between social elites and subaltern group is glaring. The BJP and its affiliated organizations have not launched a national campaign to challenge caste prejudice or foster intercaste fraternity in the fear that it would dilute the privileges of dominant caste. Instead, the promotion of Brahminical cultural narrative often relegates the struggle of Dalit and Adivasis communities to the margin and portrays their resistance as a challenge to traditional authority rather than the fight for universal dignity. This ideological stance maintained by Hindutva ideologies undermines the constitutional vision of egalitarian society. Historically, India witnessed powerful resistance movements that reshaped caste dynamics. The Dalit Bandhas in the 1970s galvanized marginalized communities, asserting their right to political power and social prestige. The rise of the Bahujan Samaj Party in northern India further empowered Dalit and OBCs, amplifying their voice in governance and public discourse. Intellectual and cultural initiatives from Dalit literature to Adivasi art laid claim to India's pluralistic heritage. Yet today, such movements are fragmented or relegated to the periphery with little capacity to challenge current social ills. The response of civil society to caste atrocities has also waned. The limitation of existing constitutional mechanism and legislative orders are evident. While there are laws, enforcement is hampered by delayed investigations, low conviction rates and societal bias within the judiciary and the police. For instance, a 2023 study by the National Campaign on Dalit Human Rights noted that over 60% of the cases under the Atrocities Act remain pending in court. This underscores the need for systemic reforms beyond legal provisions. Addressing caste atrocities demands a multi-pronged approach rooted in political will and social reform. The state must strengthen the enforcement of existing laws, ensuring swift prosecution of perpetrators and sensitizing law enforcement agencies about the ills of the caste system. And affirmative action policies should be rigorously implemented with transparent monitoring to ensure equitable access to education, jobs and resource. Bible talks about no supremacy of human being before God in India. In Job chapter 31 verse 15, did not God that made me, that is Brahmins in the womb, make him that is SC and ST and OPC, and did not one fusionist, that is all citizen of India, in the womb.